Cairde is me sin nua agus bé mé sé ag troirí an clachtú ioga aniu de Féile and Phobal mar chud de Féile and Iarthar. Hi everybody, I'm Nuala and I will be guiding today's practice for Féile and Phobal as part of Féile and Iarthar. So coupla rud sola dosíamid, codí an sé mat a coupla cushion tíblat, me sé imma here ciam. Codí an sé codged in the stagiair. So it can help if you have some pillows beside you to help you in some of the postures. It's féidir leat rubba ceála currigal so cooler mas níon leat. You can play some music in the background, it can be nice if you want. Another thing is, in all that we do today, I want you to really listen to your body. So if something doesn't feel right for you and it doesn't feel good to you, then don't do it. You can come back in and out of any of the poses. So Ian rud nach maithíonn go maith ditse is féidir leat stopú. Tá muid géirí an rud I'm sure a maithíonn go maith dit chéan. So tá muid like different. We're all different. So find what feels good to you. So tossing with your fad in our lay. So we'll all begin lying down. Agus just jam to hien as comfortach or an matta. So making yourself nice and comfortable on the mat. Then the casa sheentse amach, the legs are stretched out to allow a tíblis and corp. The arms are down by the body. Agus just Johnny check and you Glac buggy or Bhealach or Bhéal like a made who needs comforty. So just checking in, can you move in any way that makes you more comfortable? Ik dredging the sulam, a tatu comfortach. Closing the eyes if you're comfortable to do so. Agus just torch fadger kajam or a tanana like buggy so corp. And for now, just noticing how the breath is moving in the body. Níl muid géirí in or athru go fáil, so we're not trying to change anything just yet. And we'll da anop fada, no courage. Is your breath long or short? Doan no edrin. Deep or shallow. Keiko fada agus a jen da anol at the corp. How far does the breath move in your body? And when sé the cleavely amach. And when sé the wallag amach. So does your breath reach the chest? Does it go to the rib cage? Maybe it moves all the way down to the belly. Nish jan hi muid Iarthar dan anol I anu rubbog ní stifnia. Rubbog ní squidja. Now we'll try to make the breath just a little deeper, a little longer. Ig liggen den funny of so corp sacri sheesh. Letting the energy in the body settle down. And curfalcha rothien higan bumcha shaw. Welcoming yourself into this moment. And curfalcha rivanano just on. Welcoming the nice deep breaths. How are you feeling today? Glanced in leis na hanalathe just on. Continuing with the long, steady breath. Beidir go bhfuil tú tuairt faidir go bhfuil an anal ag bogu níos difniúil sa chorp inis. Maybe you're noticing that the breath is moving deeper in the body now. Ag deanú na matain sa mai níos buige. So softening all the muscles in the face. Na matain hartar na súla ag géirí bug. The muscles around the eyes becoming soft. Na matain hartar na leca, the muscles around the cheeks. Na matain hartar the Bhéal ag géirí bug. The muscles around the jaw, around the mouth getting soft. And taon job a taken in sin faoi láthair na bheith deas bug. Letting the mind do the job of getting nice and soft. And spas heart the cree a géirí deas bug Glac amach. Space around the heart centre getting softer with each exhale. Na matain hartar the wallig a géirí bug. All the muscles around the belly getting nice and soft. And allow trum or another. 2 arms right down to the hands, feeling heavy down on the mat. The crumine, the géirí bug, the hips getting soft, feeling heavy. And chas the crumine sheesh go dtí na baracíní. Int the bug agus trum. The muscles around the hips, from the hips right down to the tips of the toes, feeling soft and heavy. And corp ag maithú shell agus soccer. The whole body feeling still and soft. Ag maithú the anal ag bogu sa corp. Feeling the body breathe, feeling your breath settle in the body. Moving the body from the inside out. Le gach anal isteach maithíonn tú éadrom. Agus le gach anal amach tá tú maithú trom. Feeling nice and light with every inhale and heavy with every exhale. You cur fáilte rot hían or Earraigh ag an móite seo. Welcoming yourself again to this moment. Cur fáilte ribh an solas a teacht. Welcoming the light that's on its way. And solas a tin seo anis le teachtainnearraigh. The light that's arrived with springtime. Ag maithú an dáthas cruithíonn sin at the heel. Feeling the hope that brings to your life. Tan solas seo tiltte hugging ar fad an múineann Ghaeilge. We all deserve this light, especially this year. Ag saoilú go bhfuil solas ag teacht le gachan isteach. Visualizing that light with every breath. Gaeilge took a couple of seconds just to unison-ish. The Iarthar a dátheangacha. Taking a few seconds in stillness now, in quietness. Totally present in your body. Sean Doyle umuineann Iarthar le Bhéal. Soccer, Cúin, Féile. This is how we are designed to live. In quietness, in stillness, and in peace. Agus nuair atá sé Earraigh, is féidir gluaiseacht ioga a Glac leis na casa agus na leabhar, agus moscóí muid an corporation. So when you're ready, we'll take some gentle movements with the hands and the feet, the fingers and the toes, to gently wake the body back up. Níl deafar bíonn, there's no rush. Ag tógáil an rud sa rangseoid ag do luas hain, so taking everything in this class at your own speed. Ag cibhnú, go tú géirí maithú go mhaith the linen ranganna, remembering that you want to feel good during the whole class. Ag bogu the chorp or bhealach ar bí in éis, go tú géirí bogu, so moving the body now in any way that you want to move. Tasig and corpa goni Gaeilge here, so the body always knows what it needs. So beidir go sin hí tú de lá with sheer. Maybe you'll stretch your arms out. Beidir go sin tú an corpa, maybe you'll stretch the whole body. Be rud a maithí go múineann, so anything that feels good to you. Agus nuair atá sé Earraigh, is féidir bogu or the heave, agus tú híana a chodú le Bhéal the heel at the lava. So when you're ready, you can roll onto one side and use your hands to guide you up into a seated position. Nice. And nice going with you like soccer, tossing with your massager. So now that we're all nice and settled, we'll begin with our postures. So in Céad Staidéar Bheith Ugging, Na and Cobbler. So our first posture that we'll have is the Cobbler Pose. And she's féidir leat Bhéal the hí cushioned and tionshaw at a so you can lift the hips up in this posture if you need to. So Céad really is much na tugi much na casa a mach groin, so we'll lift our feet out in front. Bun the casa an earlier, so the feet and the soles of the feet in contact with the earth. And sin tugi much sal wine shack shin and canella. Tugi much in so we'll bring the soles of our feet together. Now it's féidir leat cinneal cruith díman sianú, so I geisteach le dátheangacha. Beidir go na casa amach an seo, beidir go siad isteach tean leis an corp. So maybe your feet are out in a diamond shape, maybe they're in close to the body, nice and tight. I geisteach le dátheangacha. So remembering to listen to your body. Nish, bugging which in cracking or heel on the crowd with stitches, so we'll move the flesh away from the sit bones. The way can't you go much about the frail sheesh. So we'll just move about to make sure that you're steady on both sit bones, pressing in, rooting those sit bones into the earth. Nish is féidir leis na leabhar bheith at your base, so your hands can be anywhere, ar na casa, ar na gluine. So your hands can be anywhere, maybe they're down to your feet, maybe they're on your knees, maybe they're on your calves. Ach tá muid géirí go mbeadh an 8 jazz leathan, so we want a nice broad chest. So Ian actually can ditch the activate jazz lahan. So any hands settle anywhere that allows that. So jam the crowd drummer, jazz fada, malach the kin, nig shinya drawn shila. So the spine is nice and long, the crown of the head stretches up to the sky. That the cree toga, your heart is lifted. Nei sin achan ciond in a stagier tugum curm falcher of bródúil the dredging. So I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable in each of the postures. It's fit codgy and shale of ale ahar at the corp because look in your Fheirsteach Iartharach. So it can help to really get you into that moment and be in tune with your body when the eyes are closed. So tan imlachan, taring his shacha drawing crowd drama, so the belly button's pulled in towards the spine. Tan crowd drama jazz fada, the crown of the head, the spine is reaching towards the sky, the spine is nice and long. To loop bugs a smig, like a man múineann jazz fada, so we'll have a wee tuck of the chin to make the back of the neck nice and long. So claggin hard a cree, hard a pelvis. So head over heart, heart over pelvis. Dredging the sula and shaw, closing the eyes. Cruhu rub bugs blast at the gulans and closer, so creating some space between the shoulders and the ears. Mahu go well rub bug mahans at island, so feeling that you have a wee bit of weight in both elbows. Naskula da ana, connecting with your breath. Fhisiceach na crowd sitchel at uhéana, hógal and arja, so pressing into the sit bones to lift the body up nice and tall. Imlachan is shaach the drawing crowd drummer, belly button draws in towards the spine. Gaeilge. Cobbler Nuala. Few more breaths. Gaeilge, lovely. And next, dredging with na gluine, so we'll close the knees. Agus buil him with your father in the cathrini, so we'll all meet on all fours. Rahim would just stack a stager and table, so we'll all come in to table pose to begin with, because this is going to be our starting pose in Kate stager. When you cut your word in a stager for a lot of the poses in yoga, this is a starting posture. So to much geary can mail bun cart faoi and shaw, so we'll want a nice steady foundation. So to much geary go mail lean jazz that are in gula and illa and agus and lusta. So when one a nice straight line between the shoulders, the elbows and the wrists. Then allow to mera spread you, the fingertips are spread out, nice and wide. Agus in een kant in the stager will major na lawa, to much geary stach so funche ben was in a blue sheisha at our corver agus an ordog. So in any one of the postures where we're on our hands, we really want to press into that space of the palm between the index finger and the thumb. Just cudging and sheish and blue a hógal na rasta, so it can help to relieve some of the pressure on the hand or on the wrists. But mata the rasta raw me comfort is feder buggy rubber contossi in the lawa. So if you find your wrists are very, very tight, you can come a wee bit forward with the hands. To lean a jazz here in crumine and gluing, so we'll have a nice steady line between the knees, the knee and the hip. August to bar na chosig Fheirsteach Iartharach, so the tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Earraigh has loopbugs a snake, so we have a wee tuck of the chin, listen wineally on jazz fada. To crowd drama jazz fada, so the spine is nice and long. Níl muid gligant and clag and touch him she's how much tarrant and smig a shack. So we're not letting the head dip down, we're pulling the chin back. Next time you geary that can should go well pelvis no hugging, so we'll want to make sure that we have a neutral pelvis, and how we do that is Síneoin ar gimid a siar ag tarint in le canisteach, Gianni bun the groma jazz fada, the gimage ag síneú shear, so we'll want to point the tailbone back, stretching out the back, or the lower back, drawing the belly button in nice and long, or nice and tight to the spine. So the male baile isca or the grim, they'll say able to fan soccer and chin. So if you had a bowl of water on your back, that can stay nice and steady there. So talking which couple of seconds and show a stager and tabla. So we'll take a few seconds here in table pose. And next Fheirsteach, brew matta or Fheile in the cossus and alawa. So pressing the mat away with the hands and the feet. Rock na sula, Iarthar and Dal. So your sight is right down in between your two hands, right in the middle. It brew or Fheile, so pressing away from the mat. It turned the in the kind of shaft just chance, so drawing the belly button in nice and tight. Brew or Fheile is na ala, agus na casa, pressing away with the hands and feet. Gaeilgeoir, lovely. Next, Rani would just shaft so curchina, so we're going to go into Thunderbolt. Now, be inte shed lachien, agus met 5 ioga is na glunia, is fedger is fedger gan and kyansha. So take this one nice and easy, and if you have any problems with your knees, you can skip it if you want. So, surely much na allow a shear, so we can walk the hands back, just fadlach. You'll Iarthar be in, so we'll walk the hands back nice and slow, there's no rush. Agus mas fedger, see shear or nasala. So if you can sit back on your heels. But to shin ain't me comfortach, if that's very uncomfortable, is fedger that couple of cushion of her foot, lishna crumine hogo and arges. So if that's very uncomfortable, you can use a few cushions to prop yourself up. Wo shin, tin a lower and the lesh, the hands are on the thighs, tarring the imlach and a stach, drawing the belly button in. To the gimage ag síneú síos go fáil, so your tailbone is stretched down still, to bun the groma jazz fada, the lower back nice and long. Tog the cree and arja, lifting the heart up, mullach the chin ag síneú drawn shila, so the crown of the head stretches up. Tog the slina and the keela, so drawing the shoulder blades together. Earraigh to rub out mahans the dialing. Again, there's a wee bit of weight in both elbows. Johnny splash it or the closest na gula, making some space between the ears and the shoulders. Trudging the sula Earraigh, closing the eyes again. Nascula the anna, connecting with your breath. Could you mara walking the hearts of crucial? So how does your body feel in this shape? Couple of anal jazz and shaw, so a few breaths here. Gaeilgeoir chucking with your leg or rash and alawa, we'll all come back onto the hand. Agus rahing with your stack, you can cat agus and ball, so we're going to come into cat cow pose. Earraigh shackle a stack, again checking in, and we'll do jazz duma or an allowance na casa, you're nice and steady on the hands and feet. Talking which anal more shackle, take a deep breath in. She'll lube the image of foot, the anal mat, tucking the tailbone in with the out breath, tucking the chin in, the snake stack. Ik anal is stack, ik liggen the more titch and sheesh, draw matta. Breathing in, letting the belly stretch down towards the mat. Tailbone reaches behind you. Earraigh lube the image of stack, in like a stack, drawing the belly button in, we'll tuck the tailbone under. Earraigh bar the grandma, toggle the drawn sheila, the top of the back lifting up towards the ceiling. The shananal is stack, down which wast in the scalga, with the in-breath will make space for the lungs, dropping the belly. Tagging the cree huntassi, heart comes forward. The shananal amach, lube the image of foot. With the out breath, you tuck the tailbone under, lift the back up nice and tall. You can lose stack, rashlin, bullock at touch and shake. Breathing in, again letting the body the belly drop down. Couple of ceannaigh de loose here, so a few with your own breath, your own speed. Tá muid go fáil ag Fheirsteach na lawas na cosal, still we're nice and steady on the hands and feet. Crave teacht on tassie, heart radiates forward, and then we'll tuck it all back in. Ceann now, just one more. Agus chucking with your ash, you can drain just your action. So we'll all come back to that next straight back. We'll shaw, breathing which in stacks the lats na lawa, agus talking which in give it a sheer hit na sala. So we'll press into the hands and take the tailbone back towards the heels. It's better rub bugs flassy ionaid and daglun and shaw. You can make a bit of space in between both knees. Cur lawa wine a mat, was in chin and stretching one hand out then the other. Fheirsteach Iartharach pressing into the mat, ik liggen the chree, agus the head and touching sheesh. So letting the heart and the forehead melt forward. Give you stature and linif, the child's pose. In monadagan the head and higam matta is federal at a matta hogal and arja. So if your forehead doesn't go down to the mat, you can lift the mat up to you with a cushion. Fheirsteach Iartharach, always listening to your body. So just like that not airy bug and shaw, letting everything go soft here in child's pose, that you're in the minute. Earraigh nascu connecting with your breath in this pose. Ik mahu the anal and yedden the lesh, feeling your breath against the thighs, how it moves your body from the inside out. Kidje mar walking in the corpus of Shaw. How does your body feel in this shape? Goni a Fheirsteach Iartharach, always listening to your body. Gaeilgeoir chucking with your leg amachas will all come out by walking the hands towards the body. Agus Earraigh staggering and tabla and back to the table pose. So just like shackle a shack and walking to stummer Earraigh. So just checking in if you're feeling nice and steady again. And chin looping which na lyra have faoi, so we're going to tuck our toes under. Agus and splas dúil in the lesh na crumine. So that space where the thighs and the hips meet. Tá much go swing you for shin a hogal sus like a sheer. So the gimage, your tailbone lifting up and back. Nish can you loops na daglun den ceann, so keeping a bend in the knees for this pose, just to begin with, or maybe throughout the whole pose. That we're coming into downward dog, so a madu shincha. So Fheirsteach na lawa to the gimage sus like a sheer. Pressing into the hands, we'll lift the tailbone up and back. It's comma mona when in the sala and matta mat, so it doesn't matter if your heels don't come to the mat. So when you get Gaeilge drum dTuaisceart and so we'll want to neck straight back in this pose. Better good in the sala sheet, maybe your heels do reach the mat, but niche and sprackle and staggers so that's not the purpose of this pose. So Fheirsteach na lawa tóg the gimage sus agus sheer imla kind of shaft just chan. So pressing into the hands, lift the tailbone up and back, your belly button draws in towards the spine, press into the hands. It's better lat pedal bug a Glac na sala, so you can have a wee pedal out with the heels in this one. Mahin shin gajastit, that feels good to you. Akshaw and madu shinsha, so downward dog. Ignascula the anal, so connecting with your breath in this pose. Couple of anal ellen shaw, a few more breaths in this pose. dátheangacha chucking muid le garasig na glúine will all come back to our knees. Agus bully muid your fad in our chassis. So we'll all come to standing. Just near tattoo and ray, just when you're ready. Agus rahin muid isteach is stadir in slew. So we're going to come in the mountain pose. Sean cyn in the stadir is far long here, so this is one of my favourite poses. Tam come at Earraigh will take Johnny morning ach pass, so it looks like you're not doing much, but you really are. It's a full body pose. So Cobbler solid off skin much. A few things before we begin this pose. Earraigh seo cyn in a bun stadir ioga. These are one of the foundation poses in yoga. So tossing much then our lyra has spread, so spreading out the toes. Ik mahi a staff kahatje mahi and costas derma. So feeling where you feel steady on your feet. So to gacht in you different, we're all different. So ik Jenny Kinsha give Gaeilgeoir and Cara Cornel and Dachas a wahi Fheirsteach samata. So we want to make sure we can feel four corners of both feet pressing into the mat. Ruhing with your staff, breathing with your mata or heel is na casa. We'll press the mat away with the feet. Exhale, go a lean just Iarthar, sus lard a corp, thairbhí or cool. So we want to imagine we have a nice straight line up the middle of the body, front and back. Agus ten the mat in our fad, ik tarn to staff in front of shin. So we want to make sure all our muscles are drawn into that midline. So bruise shacks na casa. Jan Kinshanach will the glúine faoi glass, so we want to make sure we're not locking out that knee. My time clean yoga chin and yana. If you notice that you do that, keep a soft bend. So the bug. So brewer matter heel Earraigh. It's how much Gaeilge male pelvis meabhrach. Okay, we want to make sure we have a neutral pelvis. So Codgy and Shema hoping to lao wine, hit the imlacan lao wine, bunda. It can help to get a neutral pelvis with one hand on the belly button, one on the lower back. Tog the imlacan sus, blue bunda grumma sheesh. So lifting the belly button up, flattening out that lower back with the hands. Carrying the imlacan jas hand, so drawing that belly button in towards the spine. Earraigh down, kinshin nachwil the glúine faoi glass, so making sure that the knees aren't back. Tog the crane arja, lifting the heart. Tog the slinang lekela, so drawing the shoulder blades together. Shin sheesh lishnalawa, so reaching down with both hands. Molach the kinnik, shin you drawn shila, so the crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. Le lube bugs the smink, so it's like tuck of the chin. Earraigh in the matin or fadig, chach the shach that you can lar, once you show all the muscles draw into that midline. Dreading the soul is a kinsha, closing the eyes in this pose. Bruise jacks na casa, pressing into the feet. The Cara Cornel and Dachas, four corners of both feet pressing into the mat away. Nor the tarn to stackety and larf onto everything draws into that midline. The kind of shaka drawing proud drummer, belly button in towards the chest. Dredging the sula, matati comfort, closing the eyes if you're comfortable. Could you marwahi in the corpse of crucial? How does your body feel in this shape? And be a lahar of the corp, being present in your body. And stadir seo, I love this pose. So what Bhéal Feirste current in slew do. Give me I always think of the Black Mountain when I'm in this pose. Especially Gaeilge. There's a blahanna like faoi Glac. Days are coming when all the flowers will begin to come out. Scullion Iartharach, the light coming back. Agus river wad, féin gluggan goramalgan. And before long, the bluebells will be on the mountain. Nach jas and swingy shin. Isn't that a lovely thought? Gaeilgeoir. And it's chocolate with a leg and mach. We'll all come back out of that pose. Agus just to a couple of circles na cromine and shaw. Taking a few circles with the hips here. Just a shackle the shack le the corp. Fáilte senior bhealach thairbhí má hingo mai ditse. So inviting you to move in any way that feels good to you. Ghaeilgeoir le dátheangacha. To a couple of roll-alish na leabhar, rolling the hands a few times. Bhealach óin, sin an bhealach eile. Good mar tatig mahi. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling good. And Kate Stadger Ella a vessel again, the Stadger and Gaeilgeoir. So our next pose will be chair pose. Agus Earraigh tossing with the Stadger and Scullion. Again, we start in mountain pose. Nice. Earraigh and bun Cearthain. Again, that nice foundation. So buggy your bhealach thairbhí could you go into just duma. So moving in any way until you feel nice and steady. Shackle shack, cushion pelvis nódrach. Checking in with that neutral pelvis, in the kind of shack the drawing crowd drama, belly button in towards the spine, the gimmick shini sheesh, the tailbone reaches down. Tug the crane arja, hearts lifted, da lao and arja, boss the Iarthar Nuala. So lifting the hands to the palms, looking at each other. Sometimes it's easier for me in Irish. Seeing with cheer, I'll just go with your Gaeilgeoir. So we'll sit back as if we're sitting on a chair. Earraigh, fáilte road, na casa, what your bhealach thairbhí, go mahi into just duma. So again, welcome to move the feet in any way where you feel nice and comfortable, nice and steady. Earraigh, loop the image of foot bug. So lengthening out that lower back by tucking the tailbone in slightly. Is féidir na leabhar a choinneal spreadja and arja. You can keep the hands spread up. Tug loop bugs a smig. So tucking the chin in slightly just to make the back of the neck nice and long. Brew matta or hulish na casa. So pressing them out away with the feet. Matta the leabhar a géirí thairbhí is féidir a hort le chéile in Anjali Mudra. So if your hands or your arms are getting tired, you can bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra or prayer pose. Brew matta or hulish na casa, pressing away with the feet. Earraigh, ahan rud ag tarnte shackadí and larfunte. Everything draws into that midline still. Navi burham at your Earraigh, sin the matain ag muscultureish, constellation cheshire show. So don't worry if you're feeling some shakes. That's just the body and the muscles waking up. Gaeilgeoir. Fáilte road, hack the stack agus a machas and Stadger shaw. You're welcome to come in and out of this pose if you need to. Dredging the sula. Closing the eyes. Jamar awahi in the court, the crucial. How's your body feeling in this shape? Ik brewer hulish na casa, pressing away with the feet, pressing the mat away. Connecting with the breath. Gaeilgeoir chucking much a leg amach, we'll all come back out. Earraigh, féidir na casa will be rub bug. Again, just moving the legs slightly in this one. Tá much go is seach Stadger and cran, so we're going to come into tree pose. And then she's féidir like go tíb le bála, le codí leat you can move beside a wall to help you in this pose. Agus toss away mission just like torch na rain. So I'll just begin by giving you your options in this pose. Earraigh, Stadger and Scullion. Again, we'll begin in mountain pose. So to tree rail gets a Stadger shaw, we'll have three options in this posture. Féidir and the cromana oscail chamach, you can move the hip out, Léir mhór a deagháil leis an mata. You can keep your big toe in connection with the mat. Is féidir chur a láirdeachas, you can put it in the middle of the calf. No is féidir thógáil an bhealach ar fad suas go dtí an punch seo bar leis. So if you can lift it up into that space at the top of the thigh. Ig oscailt de cromáin amach. So ig buint tríal as catchable tusa. So ig tógáil cosúhain suas ar léir mhór dús coming up, peeling the foot up onto the big toe. Agus beidir ag buint tríal as catchable too. Beidir ag buint tríal as an tree rud. Ach ma tá tú gáil an bhealach ar fad suas agus níl seo jump agad river, go aneacha le bhála. So if you're going to come up into this shape, go against the wall if this is your first time doing it. Nish, tarring daimlach in the stack, belly button draws in, toe the crane arja, heart's lifted. Mollach the kinnig, she drawn shila, crown of the head reaches up. Is féidir na láha a thógáil amach. You can lift the hands up and out. General bug splasher or na gulain agus na clúsa, making a bit of space between the shoulders and the ears. Ig torch and daslin on the céile, bringing the shoulder blades together slightly. Is féidir leat na láha hort le céile, ig Angeli múineann seo, so we can bring the palms together in prayer pose here. Codí an sé with a drishna bug agad, so if you have a wee point to focus, it can help you balance in this pose. No, vulture a wolf wall usage, or again you can use a wall, whatever works for you. Now dredge the sailors again, so we don't want to close our eyes in this one. So blur here, unwatta leis na cosa, pressing away from the mat with the foot, the standing foot. Ig oscailt an cromáin seo, so we're opening up the hip of the foot that's lifted. To the craig tógáil, your heart's lifted. Mollach the kinnig, she and arja. Crown of the head lifts up. Le bugs is make a small tuck of the chin. Agus na bíbar hamatatu buggy heart, so ceann seo tarlíonn sé doing your fad. Bug and crin. So not worrying if you're moving about in this pose. Trees are meant to move. So chucking with your leg amach, agus rahim with you can teed elanish. So moving on to the other foot, so the opposite foot, Earraigh, stagger and slate or deuce. Again, mountain pose first, steady on those feet. Stuim ar na casa. Tógáil suas ar an casa eile leis an léir mhór. Lifting up to the big toe with the other foot. Agus ig rainú de chranar an tíomh eile, choosing your tree on the other side. Beidir go maith an tíomh seo go humlan differ on tíomh eile, maybe this side feels totally different than the other. Tá sin int an adartha, that's very natural. Cáil de chran, oscail an cromáin amach, lifting that hip up and out. Imlach an isteach, breisteach sa cos ar an talú, pressing into the standing foot. Tóg the cree, lifting the heart up, tóg na gulain ar hiúil na clúsa. Shoulders draw away from the ears. Mollach the kinnig sin an arja. Crown of the head reaches up. To the crowd drama, jazz fada. Spines nice and long. Un gimage suas go dtí mollach the kin from the tailbone right up to the crown of the head. To lean jazz on Shini and Arja. There's a nice line, stretching up. Breisteach sa cos, pressing the mat away with the foot. Earraigh fáilte wrote na láha oscailte amach ar nós crán. Again, you're welcome to reach the hands out like a big tree. Ig nascúla de anna. Connecting with your breath. Couple of anal eile and seo. Another few breaths here. Imla kind of shack chan, belly button draws in nice and tight. Pull it in and up. Shack agus an arja. Gallant is chucking with your leg a mark. We'll all come straight back out of that pose. The next time with your leg go away in our sea, we're all going to sit back down on the mat. Agus rahi, leaking with sheer. And da crossing the mat. So we're going to lie back with the two soles of the feet in connection with the mat. So, Jan to hien, Jan the crowd drum and jazz father and water. So making the spine nice and long on the mat. Tog and uasal, a draw the corpse so the two heels move in towards the body. Allow a sheath heel and corp, two hands down the side of the body. Or it's just bug heart like a mate to jazz comfortach, moving about until you're nice and steady. Nish inte tautak sa kion shaw, good fan and rock na sula, drawn shilal. Very important that your gaze stays up towards the ceiling in this posture. So we don't want to be looking to the side. Just conny the rock and arches, keeping your gaze up. Talking which anal more shach. Breathing in, or an anal amach, talking which na crumine and arja will lift the hips up nice and tall here. Brush jacks na casa. Pressing into the feet to let to lift the hips up. Earraigh and da corneal and da cara corneal and da chos. The four corners of both feet pressing into them. So show stadger and dry head. For bridge pose. Neis wat had I Cobbler da galore and shaw is fedra let slin and a wine a huggle shat and shin and kionella agus na lawa a quart the killa faoi the heart. So if you're comfortable enough in the bridge with your hands down, you can tuck one shoulder blade in and the other and interlace the fingers under the body to lift the hips up nice and high. Brush jacks na casa pressing into the feet. Toggle na crumine and arja. Lifting the hips up. Now let them da gloom, touch my mouth no stach, can you just coat rower it, so not letting the knees fall in or out, just keep them nice and straight. It's fedrin the sula rigid, so can show you can close your eyes in this posture. Toggle Cobbler anal stach, taking a few breaths here. Fheirsteach na casa, pressing into the feet. Gusage and force in either the casa agus a mata lid na crumine a hoga. So using the force between the feet and the mat to lift the hips up taller. Ga no ella and shaw, 2 more breaths. Gallanta agus chucking with shish, good so walking down nice and steady. Nish toe borrowed more than da glue and shach the draw the acht, so we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest. Agus is fedger na glunia woggy otiv gativ. You can move the knees from side to side if it feels good to you. Legging to the front of sock really, letting your energy settle down again. Shin jury, listen stadger or fad. It's the end of our poses for today. Nish is fedger lat na casa kuramach. Agus curhin which toothless shavasana. And stadger is towel the ioga. So you can just stretch the feet out. As we begin Shavasana, the most important pose in yoga, corpse pose, stadger and marv, leg the nalawa, lead heave lid the corp, so letting the hands rest down the side of the body, and da wasanarja. palms face up. Leg den da chas, titchin mamach una killa, letting both feet fall out away from each other. Dredging the sula, your tattoo ray. Closing the eyes when you're ready, or if you're comfortable. If not, just soften your gaze. Big nascule at the anal reach, connecting to the breath again. Jay mar walking the anal and ish. How's your breath moving in your belly now? Like that if when you've soccery shish, let your energy settle back down. Janu, the anal is jack, rub up me switch. Making the in breath just a little bit longer. Agus Earraigh and anal amach, rub up me switch. And again the out breath just a wee bit longer than the one before. Gaeilgeoir, legging to the anal and will you, letting the breath slow down. Curfáte rud chéan ag go móite seo, welcoming yourself into this moment. Cé mar walking tú in the chorp agu. How do you feel after moving your body? Sinú how much fun mach nu na ceannacht there, ionaid. So we're going to do a love and kindness meditation to close our practice today. So just con Earraigh, sin anal, jazz fada, sin, jazz soccer. So just continue with your nice, deep, steady breaths. Sin Rialta, Fheirsteach ach, na big dearly raw. So you're welcome to listen to me, but just try not to concentrate too much on my words. Like the fhisiceach heart, earth, just let them float around you. And anal and ranas tábhacht in shaw, so our breath is the most important thing here. So we're dus tuairthing with chun cin, duine bhfuil an grab in difa. So we'll begin by bringing to mind somebody that we love very much. Beidir for páiste thum, cara, beidir for peta. Maybe it's a friend, a child, a dog. Could be duine haggin any stitch, whoever comes to mind for you. Agus tá muid chun smaointe, lean de gra agus cinealtas a cheolaigh an duine sin. We're going to send that person some thoughts of love and kindness. Agus dearthing muid. Go méid tú sonna, go méid tú sásta, go méid tú tsláinte, go méid tú láidir, go méid tú Bhéal Feirste, agus go méid tú lean de gra agus cinealtas. So thinking of that person, we'll say, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be strong, may you be filled with peace, and may you be filled with loving kindness. So go may tú sana, go may tú tsláinte, go may tú láidir, go may tú Bhéal Feirste, agus go may tú land a gra agus cinealtas. So may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be strong, may you live with peace and ease, may you be filled with love and kindness. Ag tógáil cobbler ann seo, dé mar bhachaíonn tún ar a cheálann tún a smuointe galanta sin ag an duine sin. How do you feel when you send those lovely thoughts to that special person? Inis ag fannach leis an maithe sin, staying with that lovely feeling. Tuairtí muid chéan chun cin. We're going to bring ourselves to mind. If you just cinealta leat chéan an seo, níl muid clachtaithe gcónaí le seo dhéanamh. Be nice and kind to yourself here. We're not always used to doing this, sending ourselves these loving thoughts. Jan the Earraigh. And give it a try. So go may mishe sana, go may mishe tsláinte, go may mishe láidir, go may Bhéal Feirste, agus go may mishe land a gra agus cinealtas. So may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be strong, may I be filled with peace and ease, and may I be filled with love and kindness. Go may mishe sana, go may mishe tsláinte, go may láidir, go may Bhéal Feirste, agus go may mishe land a gra agus cinealtas. So may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be strong, may I be filled with peace and ease, and may I be filled with love and kindness. Gaeilge. Ag tógáil cobbler ann seo, go dé mar bhachaíonn sin dit. How do you feel sending yourself those thoughts? Nis tógaí muid íon duine a táid a géirí fuairt cin, so duine ar bí an clán ar fad, beidir an pobal ar fad, thart a gghearcail, agus tosa a lár an cearcail sin. So now we're going to bring to mind anyone we want, maybe your whole family, maybe your whole community, but we'll imagine that we're in the middle of a circle surrounded by those people that you choose to invite. And Curfalture of Athnin, welcoming everybody to this circle. Ag tógáil second leis an maithú sin ó wathaí sa chór. Taking a second to feel how that feels in your body, being surrounded by all those lovely people. Agus seolgaí muid smuointe ag aithne in your heart down. We're going to send those thoughts to everyone around us. So go may with your fad sana, go may with your fad tsláinte, go may with your fad láidir, go may with your fad Bhéal Feirste, agus go may with land a gra agus cinealtas. Sending out these lovely thoughts to everyone in your circle, including yourself, as we say, may we all be happy, May we all be healthy. May we all be strong. May we all live with peace and ease. And may we all be filled with loving kindness. Go mé muid ar fad sonna. Go mé muid ar fad tsláinte. Go mé muid ar fad láidir. Go mé muid ar fad Bhéal Feirste. Agus go mé muid ar fad land the Glac agus Cinealtas. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be strong. May we all live with peace and ease. And may we all be filled with loving kindness. Earraigh tógáil cobbler anó an seo, leis an maithí sin a bhaithí sa chóir. Again, taking a few breaths to see how that feels in the body. Ag ligint in a smuinti agus na maithe sin spréamh amach. Amach as an act in a wilmid, ag an pobl Iarthar. So letting those lovely thoughts and feelings spread out from where we are, out into our communities. Ag seolí na tráchtarachtaí sin ag aithne Iarthar, sending those lovely messages to everybody around us. Gaeilge, lovely, and Cobbler anó an ish, go home in a ionaid. So a few breaths now in silence. Gaeilge, and ish tóg the Iarthar ag an bringing your awareness back to the room. Ag tógáil gluaiseachtaí bugas leis na lábhas na casa, so bring some gentle movement to the hands and the feet. Ag ligint an corp bugaí ar bailach thairbhí go bhfuil an corp ag iarraigh bugaí an ish. Tás ag an corp a gcónaí ag déaltaí here. So letting the body move in any way that your body wants to move now. The body always knows what it needs. Agus nuair atá sibh ré, builthí muid ar fad in our seat. So when you're ready, we'll all meet in a seated position. Sin deireadh leis an cleachtaí inniu tásúlaim gur bhain sibh ansachtas. That's the end of today's practice. I hope you all enjoyed it. So dredging which our clachtaí inniu, leis na lábha chogáil na tríomha ag an crease, we'll bring our hands together at the heart center. Crumhí which our glagna, we'll bend our heads, we'll bow our heads, agus deireadh which namaste. Namaste. Gura míle maith go bhfuil. Thank you very much for joining me.